Happy holidays to all of you. I'm Bob Dukes, the President and Executive Director of WDA. Next year is an exciting year for us. We celebrate our 50th anniversary. Gosh, I remember when I was at the University of Tennessee 50 years ago, I had no gray hair, and when I sprinted, I didn't pull a hamstring. You know, the 50th anniversary is really special in the Old Testament. In the book of Leviticus 25, it calls it the year of Jubilee. The slaves were freed, property was restored, there was a double harvest in the 49th and 50th years. But this required faith of Israel. They had to trust God. They had to allow their lands to lie fallow for 2 years in a row. No farm work, no breaking a sweat, if you will. And this was an extension of the commandment that God gave them to dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. And so they had to trust God to provide. They had to trust God to protect them from the enemies all around them. But they could do this because they recognized that it was God's land. He created it. The wealth was His. His armies were going to go out before their armies. And this whole great promised year of Jubilee was inaugurated at the Day of Atonement. It was a proclamation of great fanfare and liberty. The people of Israel were encouraged to draw near to God. At the feast days, they went into the temple and celebrated who He was, not just what He was doing. And there was this subtle sign in the Old Testament that it wasn't just deliverance for Israel. It was deliverance for all the earth that was coming. And we know that in the fullness of time, Galatians says, the Messiah appeared. And in the New Testament, Jesus picks up on this theme in John 15. He said, I'm making a new land, and I'm going to prepare a place for you. So abide in me, be fruitful in me, dwell in my heart, and let me dwell in your hearts. And take this Jubilee to all the earth. WDA celebrates this golden anniversary, and we're excited about that. We're expecting God to do great things next year and in the years to come. We're trusting Him to bless us, to deepen our roots, to extend our borders. We're hoping to support our associates all around the world in dozens and dozens of countries. We're also hoping that He's going to provide a greater harvest, and we're getting ready for that. In Africa, just a few weeks ago, hundreds of new leaders were raised up. And now our disciples and leaders there are expecting 15 million new disciples in 5 years. For this to happen, He's going to have to pour out resources. He wants us to draw closer to Him. And this happens in community. We do this together. We build resources together. We raise up people together. We draw closer to God together. We trust Him together. There's a great opportunity in WDA right now, at the end of this year, but also in the beginning of the next year. Would you help us? I know you do already. Most of you do. Would you help us even more in the years ahead? We need your support, and you can do this with us. It's not just us. Thank you for all you do, praying for us, giving to us, encouraging us. Happy holidays. May God bless you in the year ahead.